All right, sorry for the delay, but here's a video I created for you instead of pictures to kind of show you the whole setup. It's a little bit foggy because I have some driftwood that I collected, and basically I'm trying to prep them for the aquarium. But I saw in the pictures the water without all this wood is like crystal clear. But let me show you the seams. Try to get a good view of it. Hold on one second. You can see there's no chips, no cracks. Silicone is like brand spanking new. Didn't see them on this side. Absolutely no cracks, no chips. Seams look really good. I got this aquarium back in. Oh, this is just from the garage door. When I opened it up, all the water came back in. So you can see, I mean, you can see where this is splash marks, not drip marks. But anyways, it's been holding water. Here's more water that came in from the outside when I opened the garage door to get some light in. Small visible scratches on the glass, but once you fill up water, you really can't tell. It looks cloudy because I just added some driftwood in here that obviously is not ready for aquarium use. Has to leach all the tannins and everything out. That's why the water is kind of foggy. And then it has the algae bloom. But let me get this side of the seam. You can see the seams look really good. Absolutely no leakage. Now you would tell on this side there was leakage because my garage slants obviously towards the outside. Here's the other side. And I'm showing this because this is obviously the glass panel, the back panel. So obviously if there was any cracks or dings or anything, this is where your tank would fail, on this panel, or on this seam rather, on the corners. But you can see everything looks good. Here's the back end of it. And then with COVID, it's kind of hard to do what we normally do to inspect stuff, so hoping this video makes it worth it. This is the bottom of it. No, my sponge fell off. Sorry, I'm using this little water pump to help filter the water and clean it out because there's a bit of an algae bloom on this piece of driftwood that I collected. I'm gonna add some bleach in there to kill it off. Lids, they are obviously old. This is all the the calcium buildup over the years. Some good vinegar, or I use Barkeeper's cleaner to clean this tank really good. Centerbrace. Traditionally, these have a 4-inch glass center brace, and some newer aquariums, to save money, they instead use the trim off the center brace and just make a little plastic thing going from front to back. This one cracked the center brace, so what I did, I went ahead and over engineered it. So instead of being a 4-inch, It's a foot long. So traditionally for 4-foot tanks and higher, you want to add a center brace. The recommendation is 4-inch glass. In other words, 1 inch per foot for 4-foot tanks. Anything over 4 feet, you're supposed to add another inch of center brace glass for every foot additional to that. I over-engineered it on purpose because this way the lids can overlap, and that way if you want to later on, you can just get smaller glass lids. So instead of getting these huge ones, that leaves you with what, 3 feet, so 18 inches opening on both sides. That way you can get 20-gallon lids if you wanted to, and then that way you can get much more opening on the back, where you can always just go and buy a piece of glass from Home Depot for like $5 and then just cut it to your whatever size you want it and make it one whole piece. But just as a emergency backup, should there ever be a need to bulge in this glass, which there really shouldn't, because this is an old school oceanic tank. You don't see them very much anymore. You can see that this glass is 1/2 inch thick. So I mean, you can see right here, there is absolutely no bulge, no give, no way. Anyways, as a backup, should there ever be enough pressure to want to pull the 2 panels separate from each other, I added this as an extra backup. I mean, you can see right here, it's actually cut to size, front and back. Now here's a little bit where it bends a little bit, but if you use JB Weld, you can glue it on there and it'll stay on there permanently. And if you ever want to build a canopy for it, all you gotta do is the canopy that goes over here, just kind of send it down with a router to make it fit, or you can take it off if you want. But anyways, it's an emergency backup, but as you can see, look, it doesn't need it. That glass is over-engineered on purpose to never, hopefully never, ever have to rely on the strap. Have you ever seen the cheap aquariums nowadays? They rely on the metal bracing, the plastic bracing from the centerpiece to connect the front and back. And obviously this one didn't have one. The plastic around here kind of cracked and gave way when the original center brace gave way in the glass. But a lot of people are always worried about that, so as a safety precaution, I added this strap. You could further over-engineering for a few bucks more. This is a 1-inch metal strap with holes. Home Depot and Lowe's sells a thicker one that's about 2 inches thick. Wide. And it's actually a lot thicker, so it's not as flexible as this, which I prefer. But the only problem is, if you make it bigger, these lids won't go in there. So as you can see, the lid right here, oh, it's getting cold out there, fits perfectly. That's why I chose this one as opposed to the thicker one. But like I said, I over-engineered this on purpose so you can then get smaller. This is my train of thought. It's too cold. Sorry. Lids. Same thing. You can just get the bigger, thicker joist angles and use JB Weld once again to put it all together. Right now it's being held by a little screw, but same thing. You can get a thicker nut and bolt and then use the bigger holes to connect them together. Anyways, I know that with COVID, it makes it really hard for us to do more in-person interactions. I appreciate your patience, but let me know if you are interested. If you have any questions, let me know.